Alrighty, y'all, welcome back to another stream or VOD if you're watching it elsewhere. Last episode or last stream, we basically got most of our poll stuff ready. This stream, I want to try to finish up that poll stuff. We'll see how much time we have after that. If we have a lot of time, we're going to start working on the schedule. I think I have an idea for scheduling. If we don't have a lot of time after this stream, or at the end of the stream, we're going to do some debugging because there's a couple bugs that I had seen, and then I'm going to try to put these two streams together into 1 or 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes. We'll see how editing and everything goes. So last, we just finished up dealing with the post button and whatnot, making sure that was all working. Now what we want to be able to do is whenever we go ahead and submit this poll, whenever we submit the actual I guess we could probably actually do it in the, not generate poll, but whenever we activate these guys, because I'm pretty sure whenever we, let's see here, we generate the poll, let's go into the create poll. So whenever we generate these and we update time, it actually does things. And I think, let's go ahead and go back and look in our slice to see what this looks like, or the global interfaces. The end time is just a string. So what we could do is we could create a date time based off of the current time and go from there. Although the problem is with that, I suppose, would be we want it based off of when they submit the actual post itself. So I guess what we're gonna actually do is whenever we, yeah, this will just be empty for now, I guess, and then we'll do some other stuff with it. So let's go into our feed. I guess we're going to go into our feed post creator. Whenever we submit our post, we're going to add some extra logic. So this is getting kind of gross. So in submit post, if we have a post image, we're doing this. If we have, so we can't have images to have a poll. So we might need like another else if, excuse me, my throat. We might need like an else if here that says else if. So we have if current post.images.length equal this. Let's see, how do we want to do this? Let me think for a sec. So we need to, so I guess it would be in the else because we can't have that and that. Maybe we say if, let's just check if our state dot and post dot current post, and this should be true already, I believe, because we've already checked current post. So dot poll. So if we have a poll is not equal to undefined. So if we in fact do have a poll, let's go ahead and get the information from the poll. So we should have, we're going to have to get the data from, how are we going to do that? Because we need to get the data about the 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's not actually being stored inside the poll itself. So how do we want to deal with that, I suppose? I mean, we could do it on the back end. We could modify the back end to say this hours, minutes, seconds instead of the actual date. How do we want to deal with this? Let me think for a second. So we need to get the data from the feed post creator poll because we don't have, because this data here inside of the valid date selector or validated date selector, we don't have this information readily available for us. It's all inside of here. So we'd have to get the information from here. Basically, we'd have to pass the data elsewhere, basically. So I gotta think about what the best way to do this is. We can't, and the thing, oh, you know what we could do? It's a string, right? So the poll right now is a string. So what we could do is whenever we, I have an idea. So whenever we do the update choice, update time, what we can go ahead and do is we have the name that we want to update. So we could go ahead and I'm guessing, let's go ahead and check our post slice for something. Do we have an update poll? We do have an update poll. An update poll, let's see here. So update poll is going to take in an update poll payload. And what's our update poll payload take in? Update poll payload takes in an index. Ooh, it only updates the text. So how do we want to do this? So I guess what we're gonna need to go ahead and do is maybe we say interface update poll date, or yeah, we'll say interface update poll date payload, and then we don't need a choice or anything. We just need the string date. I guess we could just make this a string, right? So we don't even need to do that. We'll just go into our reducers and we'll say set poll date. This will take in a state and a payload, which is a type payload action. Payload action, and this will just be a string. And what we'll do, we're gonna have to do a bunch of stuff for the poll, although we might not have to do as much. We're just gonna have to say, we're gonna have to price it if current state and all of that stuff. So let's say if state.currentPost and state.currentPost.poll. So we have both of those. We'll go ahead and say let post equal to state.currentPost, and we'll say let poll of type poll equal to post.poll. And what's the problem? Poll is declared but is never read. Poll or undefined. Do we have to say this for some reason? Is it thinking something else? Poll is declared. The poll or undefined is not assignable to type poll. It's not though. State.currentPost and state.currentPost.poll. So why is it saying that it's undefined even though we're saying not equal to undefined? That's kind of annoying. We've already checked to make sure current post is available. I guess we're gonna do this because it doesn't understand if post.poll, and we'll say, I don't know what the problem with that is. So if post.poll, it's not available for free. So this is something I set up a long time ago, so I'm not going to go back on my word. There's a video in the description of my other videos for this series on how to access it though. So if post.poll, what we're going to go ahead and do is say poll equal to ... poll. I guess we need to create poll, right? So we'll say poll let, although we did this previously, did we not? Let me double check this. So yeah, so we said if this, I guess we didn't set it to a poll, so I guess we're gonna break the rules because I don't feel like dealing with all this stuff. So we're gonna say let poll equal to post.poll. It's fine. We've already checked that it's not undefined. It exists because we checked it. We can double check up here. So we did the same thing. We did the same exact thing. It's fine. So now we're gonna say we have this string for the payload. So we're gonna say let. Actually, we're gonna say poll is equal to ... poll. I hate that it does that, and we're gonna say date or end time is gonna be equal to action.payload, or payload, I guess. And what's your problem? End time string is not assignable to type string. payload dot payload. This should be action. Action will be that, and this will be action dot payload typoed, and then we'll say, what is your problem? Type properties poll ID are incompatible with number undefined, number blah blah blah. Is this because of the poll or undefined? It shouldn't be undefined though. Not equal to undefined. I don't see the problem here. We already checked to make sure that poll. Okay. It's literally the same thing as up here. If state.currentPost and state.currentPost.poll. So what is the problem? Let's just double check that this is the exact same. So set poll date. Paste this. It's literally the same. So why can we not, unless it's because of this? I don't get it. Is it because of the JSON stringify? Let's try that, I guess. Let's go ahead and try to make a copy of this, I guess. So JSON.parse, JSON.stringify, and we're gonna pass in state.currentPost, I guess. So I guess that's what fixed it. And now we're gonna go ahead and do all this. We need to say post is equal to ... post, and then we're gonna say poll like that. We're gonna set the poll, and then we need to say state is equal to ... state, and we're gonna say current post is equal to post, and then finally we'll just go ahead and return the state. Return state, and then here, if one of these isn't true, then it's just going to skip over it. It's not going to be any problems. So that's good to go. Let's go ahead and hop back down here, and let's go ahead and say set poll date, save that. And then in here, so the poll date isn't going to technically be correct. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to be like days, hours, minutes. So what we'll do is we're going to say let time equal to, and how do we want to do this? So we have because we already have this, except for the fact that the time might be off on one of them. So how do we want to do this? We definitely need a dispatch. We're gonna dispatch set poll date like that, and then this needs a string. So we can say, I guess we'll just set up an if statement here, I guess. So if name is equal to, and I think we had like days, hours, minutes. So days will do one thing. Else if, I don't love this, but it is what it is. Name is equal to hours. Else, and then we'll say otherwise we'll do something else. So what we'll do to start is we will say, how do we want to do this? Because we have an object already, right? So we can say, let's say let date equal to, and we'll say time or something like that. And actually, let's go ahead and actually say let date. Yeah, this is what we could do. We can say let date equal to, I got an idea. Let date equal to JSON dot parse and JSON dot stringify, and we're gonna go ahead and pass in the time there. So we're gonna go ahead and basically make a copy of the time, and then we'll say date is equal to ... date. So we're gonna basically do the same thing we did up here, except immediately, not asynchronously. And then we're gonna have name colon value. And then what this will allow us to do is we can go ahead and say dispatch the date. And we don't need an object, we need just a string. And then we can say, and we'll split this up and we'll say $, if I could, $, date dot days, colon, $, date dot hours, colon, $, date dot, and then minutes. So basically we're gonna copy the time and then we're gonna go ahead and set it immediately, because remember it's asynchronous, so it might not be exactly perfect at that time. So that should be good to go. It should dispatch that set pull date. So now what we need to do is let's just go ahead and make sure that this is getting updated. So we're gonna go into our feed post creator, excuse me. We'll deal with this later. Let's go down to our, wherever our use effect is. So now let's go ahead. Whenever the poll changes, I don't know if this is gonna do what we want, but we can at least see. So let's hop into our Brave. Let's open up our terminal. So inspect console, and if we make a poll, if we change these, does anything happen? Okay, it does. Poll ID 0. End time is undefined, undefined, undefined. Okay, what if we change it again? Okay, so for some reason it's undefined. It is dispatching and trying to change things, it seems. So let's double check what's going on here. So if you post creator poll, let date equal to time. Time is apparently undefined, or so let's console.log date here, and we're gonna say date comma just to make sure we know what's going on. Let's go ahead and try this now. So it's got to be dispatching undefined, right? So let's refresh just to make sure it's working. Go into our poll, and if we change the hours to 1 hour, so date is days 1 hours. So why is that getting undefined, undefined? Oh, you know what? It's because, so do 3, and this is still behind for some reason. I'm not sure why the state would be that far behind. So that might be a problem as well. Oh, you know what? It's because the, I wonder if we could get, what if we just get the, I don't know if we have access to that though, because this doesn't take in an E, this just takes in a name, value, whatever, which is unfortunate. What we could do is by default, but I know what's going on. So we might need to change these to days, hours, and minutes. And what's your problem? Is days a keyword or something? And let's see here. This will be days, hours, and minutes. Let's go ahead and take a peek at this again. Oh, there's another error. Where is this error at? Down here. What's going on here? Say days, hours, and minutes. All right, try again. Refresh and make a poll. Whoops. 2. Okay, 1 0 0 0. And okay, so why is it stuck at 1? Now we broke something else. Let's see here. Data is time.days, time.hours, time.minutes. is data not getting set now? Name values, that should be fine. Dates, this doesn't matter. Time is days, hours, minutes. Time.days, hours, and minutes. So I'm not sure why that is all of a sudden confused and broken. So that's fun. Because everything else looks fine. Just refresh it. Yeah. Is it not setting the date time? So set time time name value, and the name is days, hours, minutes. Days, hours, minutes. That should be fine. So I'm not sure, although I don't know why we have to say plus. I guess data has to be a number. Okay. Whenever we update time, calls that. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this is not working. We call set time, unless I typoed something. But this is days, hours, minutes, and that should be the name that we're getting. And if we come in here, time should be getting set here. It's console.log name value. Let's just double check that this is what I expect. Refresh. 2. Name. It lowercases it. Why? Why does that lowercase it? That's stupid. That is really dumb. I guess let's try to undo everything we did. Why does it lowercase it? Hours, minutes, days, hours, minutes. We might have an issue on our hands here. And then this is days, hours, and minutes. We might have a problem on our hands here that I didn't foresee. I don't know why that makes it to lowercase, but can we change this now? We can change that now, and of course now this is undefined. Date. So date's working again. Name, days, value. So at this point, what we should do, how do we want to deal with this? Name, value. If we set this back to days, hours, minutes, do you work now? It's gonna be behind though, I think. We're going to deal with that. Although it might not be a problem. Because we might be able to change this. We might be able to change this slightly, maybe. I'm not sure. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. Although that's right. The date's just incorrect. Because if you look at the end time of the poll, it says, although never mind, because it starts at 0, 0, 0, right? So if we come here, 4, although that's correct too. Interesting. It looks right. I mean, 1 day, 3 hours. This is inside the feed post creator. So I think that's working. So I think it's fine. So now what we need to do is we need to update our poll. So if we come into our feed post creator, I went to Google on how to do this again because I kind of forgot how to do this. But if we come into here and we submit post, so if our post has a poll on it, so there's no images, it's just, ooh, I gotta make sure that it has, if there's a poll and our state.post.currentPost.images.length is less than 1. So as long as it's also not an image, but it shouldn't be able to do that, but I'd like to be safe. So let's go ahead and we'll say let time string equal to state.post.currentPost, whoops, currentPost.poll.inTime, and then we need to kind of break this up, I suppose. So we'll say let days equal to, and we're gonna say time string dot split, and we're gonna split it on this guy, and this would be 0, and let hours equal to time string dot split, and we'll split on this, and then this one might be 1, and then let minutes equal to time string dot split, and then this will be 2 maybe, and I did this wrong. Now I don't really want to create the post right now, so let's just do this, and let's console.log to see if this is right. So we'll say days, whoops, if I could type days right, days, hours, minutes. Let's just make sure this is right. We're not going to dispatch or anything. So let's come in here and let's refresh. Let's make a poll, and we'll just say hello 2. We'll say 7 days, 5 hours, and 30 minutes or something. Hit post, and we get undefined. Terrific. That's exactly what we wanted to see. It didn't console.log anything. What was that undefined from? Did it not get in here? It's console.log. There is a poll. Let's make sure there's a poll here. Maybe this was undefined or something for some reason. Let's try again. Another undefined. So poll, hello. We probably want this required as well. And post. Okay, it's not getting. You know what? I think I'm in the wrong one. I'm in the wrong one. No wonder why it's not doing anything. Let's actually put this in the right one. So copy this. Makes sense. And do this. And we need to make sure that poll gets set as well, because it's not being set right now. Let's try this again. Console.log days, hours, minutes. So give it a refresh. Don't need to, but I just want to be safe. And hello. Post. And we got days empty, hours undefined, minutes undefined. So let's console.log time string to make sure that there's a time string. Console.log time string to make sure this is working at least. Maybe this is broken. Refresh and do this again. So hello. You know what? I might not have set anything. So we need to set that to like zeros. So let's hit post. So days for, okay, it worked fine. I just need to make sure that whenever we generate the poll, so let's go back into our post slice, and whenever we generate the poll, wherever this is, generate poll. Generate poll, poll.choices. Choices, yada yada yada. So now we also need to set end time. Is that it? End time. Let me double check our poll. So end time, I lost it. Here it is. We'll start out at 0. Actually, we'll start at 1, 0, 0. So 1 day, 0 hours, yada, yada, yada. So then if we don't put anything in there, it won't break. Except I broke everything. What's going on now? Oh, I put in the wrong one. No, I didn't. I just broke this one on update poll. Save that. I got put in the right one. That was an update. I want to do it in create. So basically, we'll let the poll equal this, and we'll set the end time to 100 to start. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like. So we come back in here in Brave, refresh, and open up a poll, and then we just put like hello, and post. Now we get 100, 1 day, 0 hours, 0 minutes. So that's good. We have a default value now, which is something we didn't think about. And now back into our feed post creator, we need to turn this into basically this many days from now. And I forget how to do this, but I know you need a date. So let date, let end time equal to a new date basically. And then you need to say like end time dot set something. I think you can say set years. So let's say just doing a quick Google here. Yeah, so we say end time is equal to a new date, and we can say end time dot set, and we're gonna say date to end time dot get date plus, and then this is gonna be days, but it's gonna have to be like plus days or something like that. And then we can do the same thing. So end time dot set, and then I'm guessing for minutes we can do the same thing. So minutes end time dot get minutes, and then plus, and then we're gonna say plus minutes, and then I guess hours. So end time dot set hours. Okay, end time dot get hours plus, and we'll turn it, whoops, plus hours. We'll turn it into a thing. So let's go ahead and let's console.log here. So console.log the end time now, and then we'll console.log the end time here. And then maybe we also say end time dot to UTC string. I don't know if that's going to help or not, but like, let's just try it out, excuse me, to make sure that it looks like it's pretty good. So if we go ahead and hop into dbeaver, or not dbeaver, Brave, we'll go ahead and add in this guy. We'll say hello, and we'll say maybe we'll just say 1 day, and let's just see if it looks like it's 1 day. So Thursday to Friday. Okay, that is good to go. So now what we need to go ahead and do is actually dispatch creating the poll and everything, and then hopefully, or creating the post, and then hopefully everything just works. So let's go ahead and try that out, and we'll open up Postman and try to make sure that's working and everything. So back in here, now all we really got to do is make sure that our body has the post in it, I guess, or the poll in it. So we'll say poll is state.post.currentPost.poll. And it shouldn't matter if it's undefined or whatnot. The only thing that we do have to do first is we need to set that end date. And this needs to be an actual string. And pull. Actually, we can see what happens first. But what I'm thinking is we say although if it's undefined, it's not gonna work. So how are we gonna do this? Because we need to set the date before we send it off. But we have to make sure that it exists and everything. So I guess we'll say let poll equal to undefined, I guess. And then we'll say if there's a poll, we can say poll is equal to state.post.currentPost.poll, right? And we can say JSON.parse and then JSON.stringify and wrap this. So basically, if there's a poll, we'll go ahead and do that. And then at the end, we'll go ahead and say poll is equal to ... poll, comma, and then we need the end date. So we're going to turn the end date into formatted into year, whatever. So let me look at a JavaScript date format. Although what we could just do is we could let me double check Postman as well. What we could do is just this. We could say end time, colon, and then we can say backticks and just do this maybe. So let's see if this works. So $, curly brace, end time dot get full year. And then we need a dash, and then I believe it's month. So then we'll say end, $, curly brace, end time dot get month, and then we'll say dash and then $, curly brace, end date dot get, or end time, my bad, end time dot get, and then this is, I don't remember if it's date or day. Gets the day of the week, we want get date. And then we have a space, and then we'll have end time, or $, curly brace, end time dot get, and then this will be hours. And then we have colon and $, end time, like a type dot get minutes. So this should convert that into that string. And then we'll say poll colon poll. So this will either be undefined, which is legal, or it'll be what we're expecting. Now, I don't know if the date's going to work. We might have to convert that into a date, or we might be able to just, I don't know, because the poll technically is taking in a string here, so things might get a little bit funky. But we know that the end time looks good. So now all that's left to do is to actually test it out. If we come back into our browser, let's refresh. And worst case scenario, we get an error and we have to debug it. So we'll go ahead and make a poll. We'll say choice, if I could type choice 1, we'll say choice 2, and it ends in 1 day, I guess, and we'll post. Okay, so we got undefined, but it reset everything and everything was good. Let's just go ahead and check our dbeaver, or not dbeaver, our postman. So go into postman, and we go into get post, and we'll see if we have a post in here. Okay, so we have a post ID 3, and although I do not see a poll, poll is null. So poll did not get attached to it apparently. Although there's multiple posts in here. We dispatched, I believe. Let me go into our network. So we did make an HTTP to pull with the payload of author. Let's see. Where is our actual post at? Do we not have anything actually in the post? Content? Where's our actual post at? I don't think our post was set here. Dispatch, create post, let body. I guess we didn't have any content. Poll should have been set. Did we get, there is a poll inside of our console? Let's refresh. Let's try this again. I don't want to restart the server though, because then I'd have to log back in. So let's just do this. Choice 1, choice 2, in 1 day. There's a poll. So it did hit that endpoint. It didn't console.log the days, but maybe we took that out. Okay, so they're not console.log these though. Oh wait, never mind. We took out the console.logs. So we set the poll. So poll should have been set. That's console.log poll at the end. And see if there's a poll there. Let's check one more time. I'm not sure if the post is even making it here. Wait, it's right here though. 2023 011 09. Yeah, so our post is right there. The poll is not coming through apparently. So let's see what the poll looks like. Let's console.log the poll. So we'll go ahead and make a new poll. We'll say trying out the poll feature. Say choice 1, choice 2, and post. So poll, add a poll ID 2. End time is a function. So that's definitely scuffing things, I'd imagine. So where does this come from? Feed post creator 219. What is this code? Console.log. Okay, that's just changing for some reason. Okay, so our function is scuffed. So let's fix that. And maybe that's throwing some stuff off. So this should be like that. And let's try that. Let's see if it hit the back end as well. So we'll post. Trying out the poll feature. And yeah, poll is just null right there. Okay, let's try again. Add a poll. Trying again. And we'll say choice 1. And choice 2. And post. So now it has the correct time. Hope that's gonna work. And it has this stuff, and then it goes to undefined. Was that breaking it? Let's see. Okay, so null, the poll is still not there. Let's double check. Let's console. So the poll's here. We have the poll. Let's console.log our body. Okay. We'll say create a poll. Where is our poll going? Choice 1. Choice 2. So let's see. There is a poll there. And it has everything in it. So that means that our backend is not getting the poll for some reason. So let's see here. Let's go into our post controller, which just calls post service. So our post service let's see here. System out println saved poll. So why is, let's go ahead and take a look at what this DTO looks like. So let's system out print the DTO. So we'll say system out println DTO. Maybe I spelled poll wrong somewhere or something, but I thought this was working on Postman. Let's look at the posts on Postman. So poll is just equal to poll, and then it has all of this stuff, and that's exactly what we got on ours. We have choices, end time, yada yada yada. So let's take a look at what the DTO looks like whenever we make a request. So do this, testing again, whoops, testing again, choice 1 and choice 2, and post. What does it look like on our backend? So here's our post detail, content, author. I know you guys can't see all this. Authorities, replies, images. Why is poll equal to null? Poll is not equal to null. You know what? Let's double check something. Let's go into our post slice. What is going on in our create post? Yep, we never set the poll. So we'll go ahead and under images, poll is body.poll. So body.poll, it doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and say create post body. I'm surprised that didn't break. So under this, we'll say poll is a poll. And this can be poll or undefined actually. So we'll do that because it's not an array. So now it will probably work, except now this is broken because I'm guessing inside of post this. And here under images, we're just going to go ahead and say poll is undefined, like so, and that should fix that issue. And now let's go ahead and try this again. So now we're going to have a million posts in here, but it's fine. So we'll refresh. We'll go ahead and make a poll. Poll. Choice 1. Choice 2. Trying again. Go ahead and make a post. Okay, that time we got a 500. So let's see what the 500 is about. Probably a time issue. Cannot invoke get poll ID because this dot poll is empty. On poll choice 83 string builder. So this is a printing issue, it looks like. So what if we get rid of this? Does it come from, I wonder if it just comes from 80 or 58. So let's go ahead and save and try again. It might be because we are just trying to print it even though we haven't set it up yet. So we'll go ahead and say choice 1 and choice 2. We might have to debug this some more and post. Okay, no error that time. Let's check our Postman. And now we have a poll ID 3. Finally, there we go. So that is good to go. Finally, it looks good. So I got about 10 minutes here to work on some stuff before I got to end the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on the scheduled. So that should be pretty easy. I don't know how this is going to be edited yet, so I'll have to figure out how to do all that. So what we're going to do for scheduled is, well, I guess we need to go ahead and create the components and all of that stuff. But the idea is what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to set the date. So whatever the date is, we're going to set to scheduled basically. So we might have to make some changes on the back end, but whenever we schedule it, it's going to say whatever date, and then we'll go from there. So we don't have to worry about scheduled anymore. So we could probably actually change the database. So if we go back into our backend right now, our current post, let's go ahead and take a look at our post model. So we'll say here, models, post. So what my plan is instead of having, we'll have a posted date still, but instead of having a, not, what's it called, scheduled date, we're just gonna set the posted date to whatever date we want it scheduled at. So if it's not scheduled, it's gonna be the current date, versus if it is scheduled, we'll set that to the posted date. And I think that's gonna have to actually be done on the back end. So if we go into our post service, do I have open post service? So whenever we create a post, let's see here. So we create a post and we say dto.getScheduled, and I'm pretty sure we just create a new date, I believe, or I don't think we do it on the back end, do we? So if get scheduled, set that. Otherwise, we set it to a new date. Oh, you know what? We're already doing that. So if dto.getScheduled, we already set the date to scheduled date. So I was already ahead of that, I guess. So I had already planned for doing that. Wow, I was smart back then. So that's fine. Do we do that with create post with media too already? Yeah, so if scheduled date, we'll set the posted date to that. So yeah, so then all we'll do is like, okay, whenever people pull, it'll be that. Okay, cool. So I don't do anything on the back end, so that's good news. So let me go ahead and pop up Twitter to see what their schedule looks like. So if I go into schedule, it's a pop-up modal, of course, and then it has the, I'll have to get the time zone, which we're probably just going to ignore the time zone. And then it's just a bunch of stuff. So we'll probably just create a date based on month, day, year, yada, yada, yada. So let's go ahead and set up a modal really quick and then kind of go from there. This episode, these couple episodes are probably gonna be a mess, but I'll try my best here. So we'll go ahead and get rid of this. So this is gonna be, ooh, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this. Okay, so this is gonna be a mess. We're going to figure out how to do a date selector, but we'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and clear some stuff up here. Clear out of all of this. Clear this, this, and this. Let's come into here and let's go make a new component and new folder. And you know what? This might not even go in this. This might just be a general one that we make. So I'm going to put this inside of components actually. So inside of components, I'm going to make a new folder and I'm going to call this schedule post modal, because I think we're going to use this all over the place because you can make posts from multiple places. So new, so we'll say scheduled I don't think we're going to have to make multiple components for this. I think we'll be fine. So, and I'll go ahead and make a CSS, new file, schedule post modal dot CSS. Let's make sure there's a TSX, rename TSX, and we'll go ahead and import React from React. We're going to keep track of some data here. Export const, and this will be schedule post modal. I forget how to use our modal. I'm going to use a bottomless modal for this. So React, whoops, React.fc and an arrow function. And here we'll return a bottomless modal. I forget what this needs. This needs a top bar. And for now, we'll just do this. And I am going to need special components. So I guess what we'll actually do... Inside of our features, we'll make a new file. And we'll say schedule, not file, new folder. New folder. Can I do the right thing, please? New folder. Schedule post and new folder schedule post modal. All right, and then let's just drag and drop these. I probably could have just drag and drop this entire thing, so let's delete this. Let's just go ahead and drag this guy and put it inside schedule post. Move it. All right, cool. So bottomless modal is gonna need that, and then it needs content, right? And it needs content. Content is equal to this. So this doesn't need any CSS. So we're gonna delete this CSS. So delete that. So we're gonna go ahead and make a new folder, and this will be schedule post modal, and this will be top bar, and new file schedule post modal top bar.tsx. This one will need CSS, so schedule post modal top bar.css, and then we'll import React like a type from React, and we'll export const and schedule post modal top bar react.fc, like so. Let's just go ahead and try to get this set up, and then we'll kind of go from there. So this will have an X. I'm gonna have to actually wrap up early, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and save this, and let's just go ahead and return a div for now, and we'll say top bar and save, and then bring that into here. So import schedule post modal top bar and paste. Whoops, let's do this and this and save. And that's all we're gonna have time for today. Unfortunately, I have to wrap up early, so I'll hold on to this video clip, obviously this recording, and then I'll kind of work on it as we keep going. But sorry for the shorter stream. I have some stuff that I had to attend to. So thank you all for whoever did stop by and watch for a while, and then thank you all for whoever has watched to this point in the VOD. I'll see you guys next Tuesday.